So today we are going to discuss about the post-build activities. So as soon as you are done with the deployment, either it is a laptop or a desktop or a server operating system, there are a couple of things that you have to ensure before you give this computer or the server to the production. Okay. The very first one is properly renaming the computer. So as soon as you are installing a operating system, either it is a laptop, a desktop, or a server operating system, okay, by default you get a name of a computer, but that is not as per the standard. So we always follow some naming convention so that when you read that computer name, you will be able to understand what exactly that computer is about. Is it a laptop or a desktop or a server operating system, or which location that is belongs to, or which business function or business unit that belongs to, you will be able to identify. Okay. So example, say for example, let me take, there is a desktop in the Bangalore location and maybe some facility 1. Okay. So how you rename if that is the case? So when you read that name of a computer, you should be able to understand that this belongs to Bangalore location. Okay. It is a desktop. Okay. And it is some facility. Okay. Maybe it is facility 1 hyphen PC or facility 1 and computer name is this one. See, like this you can rename, so that when you read this name of a computer, you should be able to understand this is belongs to a Bangalore location and it is a desktop computer and it is belongs to facility 1 and computer name is 01. So you can put like this, or you can even remove the hyphens. BNG desktop facility 01. There are 100 computers, it will go like this: BNG desktop facility 100. Okay, so that you will understand by reading the names. Similarly, the server names will also be like that only. Say for example, if you are working in Bangalore location, it is belongs to Bangalore location. Okay, so if it is an application server, BNG hyphen app, it is in Bangalore location, belongs to an application called FB and application server name is 1. Bangalore location, it is an application server and it is an Facebook application. If it is a database, you see here Bangalore location, it is a DB and it is 01, like this. This is how the naming convention goes. They will agree. Every company will have some naming convention. Okay, by looking at the naming convention itself, most of the information you can gather. So it is important to rename a computer as per the naming standard. Okay, now let me show you how can you rename a computer. Okay, let me take you to the VMware. So I have just went to the VMware workstation. I right clicked and said send control and delete. It is asking me to enter the password. Let me enter the password and you get into the computer. Okay, so now you need to make sure what is the current name of a computer. Okay, so any idea how do you check the computer name, guys? How can you check the computer name? There are multiple ways that you can check the computer name. Okay, the first thing, the very easy thing, I always prefer you to go to the command prompt. Okay, every Windows machine will have an option called, if you right click on this Windows tile button option, you will see an option called run. Okay, this is a graphical way of opening the run. Or you can even press Windows logo in your keyboard and press R, directly the run prompt will open. There you go to CMD, this is command prompt, go to command prompt, and here you can see, computer name by just typing a command called host name. See, sorry, It is host name. When you type the command called host name, you will see the name. See, I told you, right? It is giving some desktop hyphen, some numbers and some letters. And you will not be, you can only understand it is a desktop, but you are not able to understand which location it is belongs to, which business function, all those information, it is not there. Okay. Now, we need to rename this computer as per the standard. Okay. So, to rename computer, there are multiple ways. Okay. So, first and foremost, let me show you the graphical way. You have to go to your this PC, right click, go to properties, and there is an option called rename a computer, or down below you have this system, advanced system settings. Go there and then go to computer name and then change. You can rename the computer from here also, but this is a lengthy one. So what I will do, I will prefer another easy way, that is command only. So there is a command called sysdm.cpl, system domain manager.cpl. If you open, you will directly take you to the computer renaming option. See, computer name option. There you can click on change and you enter the name here. See, most of the peoples, they will just come to this computer name and in the computer description they will type the name. It won't take. That is a description, guys. If you want to rename it, you have to go to change here and then type bng. This is Windows 10, right? Yeah, bng, say for example hyphen Windows 10. Now it is at least telling me this computer belongs to Bangalore location. It's a Windows 10. Windows 10 means a desktop or a laptop. It's a client computer basically. Okay, and that's fine for me. So I have clicked on OK. Now the computer gets renamed and it gets restarted also. And once the computer is back after the restart, you will see the new name which you have renamed it. Okay, let us wait for this computer to get restarted. Okay, the next one is you have to ensure the computer is having an IP address. Make sure the computer has got an IP address. So IP assignments. Okay, see, what is our identity, guys? Can somebody tell me what is our identity? If I want to send a letter to you or if I want to identify you, you should have something, no? What is that something?
Address, sir.
Sorry?
Address.
Yes. So your identity is your address. Correct, na? Similarly, the computer will also have its own address. Like we have our Aadhaar, we have our passport, driving license as our identity, as our addresses. So the computers will also have its own address to get identified over the network. See, in the entire world, there are crores together, millions together, billions together of devices are there. Correct, right? How can we identify that I'm sending the data to the right computer? So that happens depend upon the IP address. The IP address is very, very important. Okay. Then the second thing that you have to make sure is assigning the IP address. So the assignment of the IP address has got two types there. Okay. How can you assign the IP address? There are two types. One is manually assigning the address manually. Manual assignment. Okay, and the second was dynamic assignment. This is all very, very important. Okay, so what is manual assignment? Let us understand what is manual assignment. So the manual assignment is nothing but you manually go to the network interface card and add the IP address. Okay, if the computer is on, restarted, it's still going on. Okay, so I'll take the other computer then meantime. See, let me go to this PC. Okay, PC2. Okay, let this get started. Let me show you in the my local computer itself. See, every computer will have a device called network interface card. This IP will be assigned to the network interface card, NIC, or network interface card. Okay, so this network interface card will hold the IP address. Okay, so how to check the network interface card? Go to run by pressing Windows and R, and there is a command called ncpa.cpl, network control panel dot control panel. If you click enter, then it will open a command, one prompt, and it will tell you how many network interface cards you have in your computer. See, my computer has got multiple network interface cards. Okay, VMware is there, local Ethernet cards are there. Okay, and Bluetooth, everything is there. So you can take whatever network interface card you wanted to assign the IP address. 99% you will have this Ethernet, and you will have the Wi-Fi in all the nowadays whatever computers you are getting. But as soon as you are installing the VMware tool, then this VMware related adapters will also be getting installed. Okay, now let me take this Ethernet. Right click on this Ethernet card, go to properties, and here you have multiple options. In that you need to make sure where is the IP is there. See here, internet protocol version. You may ask what is IP address. IP is nothing but internet protocol. It's a protocol. Okay, so that holds the address. That is why we call it the IP address. Okay, so right click on this internet protocol version 4 and go to properties, and you see here the IP assignments. There are two types. The first one is there, obtain an IP address automatically. Means you are telling this computer to get the IP address automatically if the first option is selected, and that is why you don't have any option of typing the IP address here, because you are telling your computer to get an IP address automatically. That is called as dynamic assignments. Means on behalf of you, someone else will assign the IP address to the computer. Who is that someone else? There is a service called DHCP. Okay, there is a service called DHCP. So that person will assign the IP address. So this dynamic assignment is there, right? It is done by a service called DHCP. It is dynamic host configuration protocol. Dynamic host configuration protocol. Okay, that is called as dynamic assignments or automatic assignments. Then other one is manual assignments. So if I go back to the network interface card now again, okay, if you click on the second option, use the following IP address. If I click on the following IP address, you might have noticed, see, it is now allowing me to type the IP addresses. Say for example 192.168.100.10, and if you press tab, subnet mask is automatically populating, and default gateway I need to give 192.168.100.1. I will explain you all these things. What is this? All these things. Okay. The first one is IP address. The second one is subnet mask. Subnet mask will tell you which class of the IP address it is and to which subnet this belongs to. Okay. I will explain you all the subnetting, all those things. But now you should make sure the computer will have three things when it should be there in the network. The first thing is it should have the IP address, it should have the subnet mask, and it should have the proper gateway. So the gateway is nothing but the router IP address. See, anything that the network, any network that should come inside the network or go out of the network, it should go via a router. Okay, router is the entry point and the exit point of your network, so that is the gateway address. Okay, see, whenever if you want to get into your house, you will come via door, you cannot use window, correct, right? You, if you want to go out, you have to go via door only, you cannot use some other vent. So the gateway is very very important, through which the traffic will come inside the network and through which the traffic will go outside the network. So that point is called as default gateway. And the next one is DNS. DNS is also very very important when you are trying to use the names. Say for example, when you want to access the application called Facebook, you always use www.facebook.com in the browser. So why are we using the names here? Because we are very much familiar with the names. It is very difficult to understand the IP address or remembering the IP address. So this DNS, what it will do, when you type the name in the back end, it will convert that name to the IP address so that the computer will understand the what exactly application has to be open. Because computer don't understand the strings, computer will only understand the numbers, that to zeros and ones. Computer does not understand any other language, guys, it will only understand the zeros and ones. Okay, that is why. So this is also, you can put it depend upon your organization. Say for example, it might be 192.168.100.50. okay, where the DNS is installed, that server we call it as DNS server. Okay, so now give okay, close. So now I have added the IP address. Right click on the Ethernet and see here properties, and if you go to IPv4, see the IP address is retained now. This IP address is retained now. Okay, that is how you will add the IP address to a network interface card. Hope this is clear. Now you know how to assign the IP address manually. So dynamically, why, you may ask a question, sir, why do you, what scenario we will use dynamic assignments? See, when you have 10-20 computers at your office, okay, you can go and change the IP address for each and every computer. Imagine when you have lakhs together, 1,000 together of computers, and you are the only one engineer is there in the company to support, and you want to do any kind of modifications, and you have to maintain the inventory, like every day one of the new users are coming to the office, the existing users are resigning and they are going out of the office. So maintaining that inventory is very difficult. Who's owning which computer, what is IP address of that, okay, all those things is very very difficult. So that is why we will hand over that job to the DHCP. It's a service or a protocol which assigns the IP address automatically. So since it is assigning the IP address automatically, the mistakes, the possibility for doing the mistake is very less. Dynamic host configuration protocol will never do mistakes, but we manually, when we are trying to add the IP address, we may do mistakes. Maybe one IP address can be given to 2-3 computers. That time, since the conflict is there, same IP address is there in 2 computers, the conflict is there and both the computer will not work. Okay, you can check, if you give 2 IP address, same IP address for the 2 computer, both computer will not work. Okay, there is a conflict will come. So just to avoid such kind of human errors, we will use dynamic host configuration protocol. Okay, anyway, all these are there in the future classes. I will talk about those DHCP for 2 days only. Complete 2 days we'll talk about the DHCP. Okay, so this is about the IP address assignments. Okay, now let me talk about the drivers. Okay, so I was explaining you about the VMware tool, right? So the third one is installing the required drivers. Actually, this should be the first one. After renaming only, it should be the second one. Required drivers. So you have to make sure the drivers are installed, whether it can be a network adapter drivers. Sometimes what happens, the network interface card, the Ethernet one will, the cable plugging port will be visible, but Wi-Fi will not be there. So you have to make sure you are installing the required drivers. you have to download the driver from the vendor site, copy to your pen drive and put it, or if you are able to access via LAN card, download it and then install it and then connect to Wi-Fi. Sometimes sound will not work, you have to install the driver. Sometimes video will not play properly, then you have to install the driver. Sometimes the computer itself will be performing very weird, I mean it is not up to the mark, then you have to install the driver. So to show that example, let me take you to this Windows 10 machine. Okay, if you go to the Windows 10 machine, it's still loading. Let me restart it once. So drivers you need to install. So if you are using the VMware, you need to install the VMware tools actually. So you need to make sure that you are installing the drivers or VMware tools. Okay, next one is you need to make sure you are make sure the required agents, monitoring agents, antivirus agents, and the vulnerability scanner agents, all those things. Okay, you need to make sure agents are installed. Agents are nothing, a small piece of softwares. So if you consider an antivirus, you should have an antivirus agent installed. Okay, like antivirus. Okay, if vulnerability scanner is there, you need to install Qualys. Qualys is the vulnerability detection. Means vulnerabilities are nothing but identifying the problems in the computer. Okay, as the developers are developing something, the hackers will start working on how can I get into the computer. Okay, the hacker work is to always hack the computers, collect the information and cause the problem and take the money. He work in a different way. Okay, so and they are 10 times effectively work than a developer. Okay, because developer will have lot of user stories, but the hacker's stories intention is only one, how I can break this and get into the thing. Or maybe you have bugs, or you may have some performance issue. So to identify this, we will use this vulnerability scanner. Okay, so there's you can install the agent for vulnerability agents. So that can be Qualys. Okay, or you can even install monitoring agents, Splunk. If it is server, you may need to install backup agent to back up the server. So agents are nothing but piece of softwares. If you are consider you are working on a server operating system, so you need to monitor the server, right? So you have to install the monitoring agent. Okay, it can be your Splunk, or it can be your Azure MFA agent, Azure agent. Okay, or if it is SolarWinds agent. There are many tools, so every tool will have the agents specifically. So you have to make sure you install. Once you install that agent will start reading the information and send to the monitoring tool. Okay, it will always try to talk to the computer. If the computer is responding, that means the computer is up and running. It will always check how much CPU is usage, how much memory usage, how much disk usage, how many IOPS is in use. Every information will be sending to the monitoring server using this client agents. Okay, that is why we use monitoring agents. Backup, if you want to make sure the servers are backing up every day, then the backup agent is important. You have to make sure the agents are installed. Okay, and yeah, like this you have to make sure that you have to install the agents. And if it is a client, VPN also there. VPN can be installed to connect to the customer network. Say for example, if you are doing work from home, you have to establish the connection between your computer at home and the office servers to connect to your office network. So VPN client, you need to make sure you install the VPNs. And if you are working on a client, you have to make sure you install the Outlook to read, send and receive the emails. Make sure you install the Outlook. Okay, and then finally you have to make sure you have given the access to the users. How to grant access? Granting access. Okay, so these are the things that you have to do as a post build activities. Okay, so now let me go back to this Windows 10 machine. The machine is back. So quickly go to send control alt delete. Password at that 123 is the password. So let me log into the computer. Yeah. See, now it is, now let me complete the VMware tool so that it will become full screen and I can copy the data. See, for example, if I want to copy something from my base machine, imagine I want to copy this file. Right click, copy, and go to the VMware, this Windows 10, and you see here if I am trying to right click, the paste option is grayed out because since there is lack of drivers, I am unable to copy the content either from my base machine to the virtual machine or from my virtual machine to the base machine. So why? Because I don't have proper drivers installed. Okay, now what I will do, I'll go to this VM and there is an option called install VMware tools. Click on that. As soon as you click on that option, a CD will be getting inserted. Okay, if you go to my computer, you can see already you have to wait for the autoplay to happen. Okay, so see, a VMware tool CD got inserted. Double click on it, or see the autoplay also started now. Then you follow the installation wizard. Okay, there are multiple types of installation: custom, complete, repair, all those things. You always go with complete installation so that you will install everything and you will not miss anything. Okay, and that is not causing the performance issues and also not a problem. So let me wait for that. Yeah, it started to prompt me. Click on next. Here I told you typical, complete and custom. Go with the complete one. Next, install. Now you see I have just clicked on install and I have removed my hand. As soon as the driver getting installed, you will see it will get converted to full screen. Starting the services, installing the CVMX Net 3 drivers, installing the USB mouse drivers, all the drivers it will install. See, installing the video driver, now the full screen will come. See, installing the video driver. See, as soon as it is getting the video driver installed, see, it has become full screen. Okay, now you can restart this computer, and once the restart is done, you can copy the content from your base machine to the virtual machine and from virtual machine to the base machine back. So it install all the drivers and it enables a lot of other features. Okay, so let us wait for this server and computer get started. Yeah, see, it was quicker. Earlier it was taking time. After the installation of the driver, it is faster. So let me send control alt delete. Let me log in. The password is same, the standard password. And this password is very crucial. You should never tell the password to anyone. The password is should be very confidential. Okay. So I'm logging in now. See here, now the computer started back. Now if you want to go to command prompt, go command prompt, check the host name. See, the computer name got changed, BNJFNW10, and IP address we changed there. Now let me change here also, ncpa.cpl. But here you will only see one network adapter with two network adapter. One is Bluetooth, another one is Ethernet. Let me go and check the IP address here. How to check the IP address of a computer? There is one more command. It is important. IP config. There is a command called IP config, IP configuration. If you hit enter, it will tell you what is IP address. See, 192.168.230.192. This is the IP address, and I told you three things now. IP address, subnet mask, and default gateway is very, very important. If any one is wrong, you will not have the communication. Okay. Now, who has given? If you type a command ipconfig /all, one switch, if you add /all, it will tell you who gave the IP address also. See, I have not given the IP address to this computer, right? See, it will tell whether it is DHCP enabled. Yes, it is assigned by the DHCP. What is the DHCP server IP address? You see here, the DHCP server is this one. This is my VMware. My VMware has assigned the IP address 192.168.230.192, this address. Okay, it is assigned by DHCP server, this one. Now let me show you how can I add the same IP address manually. ncpa.cpl, if you go, you can open the network interface card here, double click on it, go to properties and go to IP version 4 here, TCP IPv4, go to properties, and you see obtain an IP address automatically. Now what I will do, at the same IP address I will add manually. So 192.168.230.192. see, it is automatically, subnet mask is automatically coming. I need to add 192.168.230.2. okay, and I will say apply. Okay, close it. Now if I run the same command, you see the same result, but it says DHCP enabled is no. See, that means I manually have assigned the IP address for this one. Okay, and if you look at the DHCP server, that option itself is not there. Here you see the DHCP server, na, see here. But here that option itself is not there. DHCP server is not there. Okay, so this is how you make sure you assign the IP address. Okay, and installation of the agents. So agent installation is very easy. Okay, so say for example, you want to install some, I don't have any agents with me. Let me copy something. Since I don't have any agents, let me try to install this VLC only. Okay, double click on VLC. It will unzip or unpack. Then it will give you prompt what language you wanted to install. Always prefer English. And click on next, 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 and finish. This is how you have to install the agents. Any agent, any software that you want to install, you have to install. Double click on the package and just follow next, 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 and finish. Okay, so see, once you click on finish, you see VLC is installed. Now you know how to install the softwares, but sometimes you may need to uninstall a software also. You should know, when you are able to install, you should know how to uninstall also. How to uninstall? Go to run and go to control panel. See, you can go to control panel like this also. Control panel. See, control panel from here. You can go to here, add remove programs, here uninstall a program, you can go there, and you see here VLC is there. Click on this VLC. As soon as you click on this VLC, this uninstall or change option gets enabled. You can click on that and you can follow the, if you click on yes, it will start uninstalling. This is graphically. Okay, so if you want to use command prompt, go to run appwiz.cpl, application wizard.cpl. if you type, the direct this uninstallation wizard will open. Okay, click on VLC media, click on uninstall. Yes, Next steps, uninstall, click on finish. It will be removed. See, this shortcut will also go off as soon as it gets removed. See, I click on finish, it went off from here and it went off from here also. Okay, this is how you will install a program or uninstall a program. Okay, now next one, I want to make sure that I give access to the users. How can I create the user accounts in the local computers also? So to create the users or to grant the access, you need to go to my computer, go to this PC, right click and go to manage option. Here there is an option called manage. So once you go to the manage, there you see local users and groups. See here, local users and groups. You can maximize it, double click on it and you see the users. If you want to create a user, see admin, I was logging in as an admin. Say for example, now I want to log in as Sanju. Password is PASSWORD@123, PASSWORD@123, and you have created the user account. And when you share this user account and password to Sanju, when Sanju logs in, do you need to change the password for his own? If yes, you can click on this user must change the password at next login, because when I am creating a user account for you, only you should know your password. Since I am also knowing your password, it's a non-compliance, security problem, security risk is there, right? So to ensure the password is known by only you, what I am telling you, I have created a user account called Sanju and I have set some password ABCD. When you log in at the first time, it will force you to change the password and you can change whatever you wanted. Now what I will do, I'll put 1234, here also 1234, and I will enable user must change the password at next login and create. Now you see a new user called Sanju got created in the users list. So where we are creating the user accounts? We are creating this user accounts inside the local PC, and hence we call it as local users. And how to elevate access? I want to make sure Sanju has got access to the computer. So to give access, where you have to go? You have to go to groups here. Groups. Okay. So groups, you can see multiple groups here. Each and every level of access has got a group. And any computer, the super user, the powerful user is administrator. He can do anything and everything. All the miracles, all the disaster can be done by a user called administrator, because he has got the complete power. Like we have Prime Minister Narendra Modi for India, for computers, the user called administrator will be there. He can do anything and everything. Okay, so this is a group. Now I want to give Sanju the administrator access. You can go click on add and add Sanju. See, if you just type yes also, it will come. See, Sanju, okay, it is not coming. Let me go to location. Yes, let me put Sanju. Why it is not coming? 1 second, let me close it and open freshly. Sometimes it takes time. So I can go directly also using a command called lusrmgr.msc, local user manager.msc, local user manager.msc. If you type that, it will take you directly to the local users and groups. Click on users, you have the Sanju. Click on groups, you are administrator. See, now add and type Sanju. See, now Sanju populated. I am adding now. See, Sanju is there, is part of administrator. Sometimes you may not need to give the administrator access. You may just need to give the remote desktop access. Means the user can connect to the computer remotely. That's it. He cannot do anything, but he can log into the computer. That time you can grant access to this remote desktop users here. Okay. So now let me check whether Sanju has got access to the computer. Now let me go to command prompt and I want to see logged in as whom am I. There is a command called who am I. If you type that, it will tell you now admin has logged into this machine. Okay, let me log off. Type a command called log off and hit enter. The user will be logged out from the session. Now log in as Sanju. Right click on Windows 10, send control or delete. Instead of admin, click on Sanju here. See Sanju down below Sanju, and now enter PASSWORD@1234. As soon as I hit enter, it will ask me to change the password. See, the user password must be changed before signing in, because I need to make sure the password you log in, that should be known by you only. Okay, so it is asking me to force the password change. I click on OK. See new password. Now you change the password which you want to keep it, and that can be secret. Okay, login. See, changing the password for Sanju. Now Sanju got created, your password has been changed, Sanju. Okay, and now Sanju is logging into the computer. So this is how you create the local users, and this is how you create access to the computers also. Okay, so it will take some time. So a few things are there. Okay, so those are important also. Okay, those are like domain joining, how to join the domain. Okay, and patching the computers. Okay, so tomorrow what I will do, we will take the rest of the topics. Okay, so today make sure you watch the video and make some bullet points what all discussion we did today, and write down the commands. Okay, commands what all we used cmd to command prompt, cmd to open the command prompt, host name to check the computer name, ncpa.cpl to open the network control panel. Okay, and to open the application installation and uninstallation wizard, appwiz.cpl, appwiz.cpl. To open the renaming prompt, it is sysdm.cpl. Okay, to grant access, if you want to go to local users and groups, you have to type lusrmgr.msc. Okay, these are the commands that we tried today. Another one is how to check the IP address, IP config, and if you want to see further more information with a switch, IP config /all. You can use always IP config /all. So these are some of the commands we discussed today. Tomorrow I might ask you these commands also, and tomorrow I will also talk about how to check the connectivity between two computers, computer 1 and computer 2, how you can check the connection between two computers, how you make sure both the computers are talking each other. So those things will be covered in tomorrow's class. Okay, then I think we can wrap up for the day here. Let me stop the recording and then I will take if you have any questions. Thank you all.